Hello everyone, it's Pat at Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to show you how to make this dainty bracelet using freshwater pearls and chain. I've used a stainless steel chain, which is a nice strong chain. It's very attractive on the wrist, this style of bracelet, and it's easy to make. So let's get started. I'm going to show you first of all actually the other options that you could use for the pearls. I've used kind of a creamy color. There's nice pure white. No, pardon me, this one's gray. And I've got a blue tone here that would be also nice. And what about a coin pearl? Wouldn't that be interesting too? Here's the white ones. I'll show you the white ones too. Nice plain white. So other options, and I used gold chain, but you could of course always use a silver chain. Now what I did, these pearls are about a 6 millimeter, and I used a small link chain, and I used 5 links between each of the wire wrap loops here. Each side of the pearl has a wire wrap loop using 24 gauge wire, 24 gauge gold wire. Okay, so we'll go on to make some more, and then further along in the video I'm going to show you how I can convert this into a necklace. So I've cut 3-inch pieces of the wire. So this is the piece of wire. You could use less wire, but I do like to use a longer than necessary piece of wire because when I wrap, I go to the end of the wire and wrap. I find that much better to get a nice smooth wrap. So taking my 3-inch piece, I'm going to go back up by 1 inch, which is that much. And this is where my really fine nose pliers shine, because I want to make tiny loops. I don't want to make very big loops. And so the really small pliers, chain barrels on the pliers make this really nice to work with. So here we go in with the wire. We're going to go around the barrel like that, and I'm going to leave it open because I need to hook in before I close the wire wrap loop. And I've got my chain links here, so we'll just run that up to there, and this piece here is where the pearl's going to go on. So now I've got my chain nose pliers to hang on to this with, nice and firm, and get that circle a little nicer there. Yeah. Now take the end of the wire and wrap like so, and you get a really nice wrap instead of using your fingers. But your fingers are good too. It all depends on the strength in your hands. I find if I can use pliers, I do, because it saves my hands a bit. Okay, so now I'm prepared to cut this last bit off. And then I do like using these crimping pliers to jot down that last little bit of wire to make sure it's not going to pick the skin. Go from both sides. Here we are. So smooth that out a little bit, and then I'm going to put the pearl on. Move the pliers out of the way. Pearls have really tiny holes, so it's always necessary to do wire wrap loops or use the silk cord on them. Now I'll push this pearl into the wire wrap loop a little bit, grab hold with the pliers and give it a push, so that tidies up the loop a little bit more. Now going on this side, I'm going to leave a little neck here to wrap into, and I'm going to do the circle around like that. I just want a tiny little neck there, because I'm only going to do 2 wraps. Now, before I close this up, of course, we're going to have to this time it'll be the chain, because I added the pearl and then the chain. So I've cut 5 links, drop that down there, like that. Oops. Here we are. And then I'm going to use the chain nose plier to hold my loop. Actually, I'm going to go from this side because I want to bring the wrap towards me. Bring it over this way. That nice little hole there. I'm going to switch hands because I like to wrap with my right hand. I'm very right-handed. And we'll hold with the left hand and wrap with the right hand. This way. So over it goes. And then using the pliers again to get that nice, tight, even wrap. There we go. So we'll cut that off. Always remember when cutting wire, you want to cut away from yourself. You don't want it to snap into your face or your hands. Tuck that tail down. Okay, so we're going to do one more. I believe I need one more pearl. Oh, maybe that's enough. I think that is enough. So I actually didn't need this last little piece of chain, which is fine. We don't need it, so we'll just cut it away. There we go. So now I wanted to show you also when you're cutting chain, it's kind of hard sometimes to cut these tiny links. So what I do is I measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5th one is the last one I want. So I'll hold really tight with that 5th one, and that exposes the 6th one, which is the one I'm going to cut. So I would go in then and cut at this point. So it does help to be able to measure. Okay, so I've added the lobster clasp on this side. So I'm going to put a circle on this side to hook my lobster clasp into. You could make this wire wrap loop bigger so that you could hook directly into the wire wrap loop rather than adding an extra jump ring. But I thought that maybe I would add the jump ring to make sure I've got enough space to hook in with my lobster clasp. So my 2 pairs of pliers again work so well to work on jump rings, hold and twist. Always turn those jump rings in on themselves so that they've got a nice way to close them up so that they don't open on you. So that'll hook in like that. Isn't that nice and dainty? It's just so pretty. Now, I'm going to show you how I can change this from a bracelet into a necklace. I've cut a piece of chain that I thought was about the right length for making a necklace for me, and I've attached a jump ring on this side. So what I'm going to do is hook this side of the lobster clasp on this side, and I'm going to put the lobster clasp on the other end of the chain, which will then hook into this ring. So I need another ring. There we are. So once again, we're going to open, well, this one might be open enough to hook into that fine chain. There we are. So we'll just hold on the one side, and then I'll take my other pair and bend it in this way, really nice and snug. And always go on this side too to give it a little extra, like that. Okay, well, it would help to attach the lobster before I close this. Too anxious to get it closed. There we are. Good thing they open and close. Close it back up again. Always do that little back and forth motion, and then you get it sitting right exactly where it should. So then this side would of course hook onto the circle jump ring that's on here. and we have a necklace. So I hope you enjoy working with a dainty chain and the freshwater pearls. They're extra special. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.